Every new moon, the entire village vanished. In the forgotten highlands of Nyaru, there was a village people feared to speak about after sunset. It was a village wrapped in mystery, hidden deep among towering cliffs and ancient cedar forests where mist clung to the earth like a living thing. Travelers who passed through the mountain paths often whispered of strange happenings there. Some claimed they heard voices in the dark when no one was near. Others spoke of fires burning in empty huts and shadows moving without owners. But the strangest story of all was this. Every new moon, the entire village vanished. Not burned. Not destroyed. Not abandoned. It simply disappeared. Then, when the first light of dawn touched the hills, everything returned exactly as it had been before. The huts stood where they always stood. The cooking fires glowed softly. The livestock grazed peacefully. Children laughed and women swept their compounds as though nothing had happened. Yet each month, when the village returned, someone had forgotten something they once loved. A mother forgot the sound of her baby's laughter. A husband forgot the face of the woman he had loved for 20 years. A child forgot the lullaby his father sang every night. And once memory was lost, it was gone forever. For generations, the people of Nyaru obeyed one sacred law. When the moon disappears, no one must step outside. No matter what they hear. No matter who calls their name. No matter what waits beyond the door. And for generations, no one dared disobey. Until Tavi came home. Tavi had been gone for 7 years. When he left Nyaru as a boy of 17, he had sworn never to return. He had grown tired of the village's old superstitions, tired of its fear, tired of its silence. He had traveled to the bustling city of Vash, where roads were carved from stone and lanterns lit the streets through the night. There, he learned trade and reason. He learned to trust what could be seen, touched, measured, and explained. The city had made him practical. It had made him skeptical. And when his mother's letter reached him, asking him to come home because she was growing weak, he returned not out of belief in old legends, but out of duty. As he climbed the winding mountain path toward Nyaru, he laughed to himself at the stories he had once feared as a child. Vanishing villages. Memory-stealing spirits. Doors that must never be opened. To him, they were relics of ignorance. Nothing more. The village looked exactly as he remembered. Round clay huts with thatched roofs stood beneath the ancient baobab tree at the center of the square. Smoke rose lazily into the cold mountain air. Goats wandered freely between narrow dirt paths. But something felt wrong. The villagers stared at him strangely. Their eyes lingered too long. Their voices fell silent when he passed. Fresh bundles of white sage hung above every doorway. Protective charms. When he reached his mother's hut, she embraced him tightly. Her once strong arms trembled around him. Her face had grown older, lined with worry. Yet her eyes held relief. "You came," she whispered. "Of course I came," Tavi said gently. But even as he smiled, he noticed the unease in her expression. That evening, the entire village gathered beneath the baobab tree. At the center stood Elder Naro, wrapped in white ceremonial cloth, his weathered face solemn. "The new moon comes tomorrow," he announced. A murmur of tension spread through the crowd. Every head bowed. Every eye lowered. Tavi folded his arms and smirked. The elder noticed. "You mock what you do not understand." Tavi shrugged. "I mock fear pretending to be wisdom." Gasps rippled through the villagers. Nero stepped forward slowly. "You left before the forgetting took your father." The words struck him harder than he expected. His father had changed suddenly years ago. One morning he awoke unable to recognize his own family. By nightfall, he had wandered into the mountains and disappeared forever. Tavi had always blamed illness, age, madness, anything but superstition. Tomorrow night, Elder Naro said, His voice low and sharp, "You will remain indoors." Tavi said nothing. But inwardly, he dismissed the warning. The next evening, darkness arrived unnaturally fast. Clouds swallowed the stars. The wind ceased. Even the insects fell silent. Then, as though the heavens themselves blinked, the moon vanished. Inside the hut, Tavi sat beside his mother. She clutched a carved wooden charm so tightly her knuckles whitened. "Whatever you hear," she whispered, "do not open the door." Then came the sound. Soft footsteps outside. Children laughing. Whispers drifting through the dark. Then a voice. A familiar voice. "Tavi." His body stiffened. Again it came. "Tavi, come outside." His father's voice. His mother gasped in terror. "No." But Tavi was already rising. Curiosity burned stronger than caution. He crossed the hut and threw open the door. And stepped into darkness. The village was gone. In its place stretched an endless black forest beneath a sky without stars. Silver mist curled around twisted tree trunks. The air was cold and utterly silent. Then a voice spoke behind him. "You should not be here." Tavi turned. A woman stood among the trees. She was tall and pale, her skin glowing faintly like moonlight through water. Her hair moved as though stirred by currents unseen, and her blue eyes shone with eerie light. "Who are you?" he demanded. "My name is Ereni." "What is this place?" "The world between memory and forgetting." Tavi's breath caught. "The village, what is happening?" Her gaze drifted into the mist. "Your ancestors made a bargain. Long ago," she explained, "a terrible plague swept through Nyaru. Desperate to survive, the elders called upon an ancient spirit known as the Veiled One. The spirit offered salvation. In exchange, every new moon the village would cross into the veil, surrendering one memory to keep death away. The people accepted. And for generations, they paid the price. Each month, another memory was taken. Another piece of themselves lost forever." Tavi staggered back. "No. There is more," Ereni said. She led him deeper into the forest until they reached a black lake smooth as polished stone. At its edge stood a man. Thin. Still. Empty-eyed. Tavi's heart stopped. His father. He rushed forward. "Father." The man turned slowly. For a brief moment recognition flickered. Then it vanished. "He crossed too many times," Ereni said softly. "The veil consumed his memories." Tavi fell to his knees. Grief crashed over him. "How do I stop this?" At the center of this lake lies the heartstone, source of the bargain. Destroy it before dawn, and the village will be free. Without hesitation, Tavi stepped into the freezing water. Dark whispers clawed at his mind. As he moved deeper, memories began slipping away. His mother's smile. His childhood laughter. His father teaching him to carve wood. He fought through the pain. At the lake center, he saw it. A black stone pulsing with unnatural life. He reached for it. And the water erupted. A monstrous figure rose before him. The Veiled One. Its body was made of smoke and bone, its face hidden beneath endless shadow. "You would destroy what saved your people." Its voice shook the air. Tavi trembled. But then he remembered his father's empty stare. His mother's fear. The countless memories stolen from his people. No price is worth forgetting love. With all his strength, he struck the stone. Once. Twice. Then a final blow. The heartstone shattered. A blinding burst of light exploded across the lake. The forest screamed. The mist dissolved. And everything went black. When Tavi opened his eyes, dawn was breaking over Nyaru. He lay beneath the baobab tree. The village stood whole around him. His mother ran to him, tears streaming down her face. Then another voice called his name. He turned. His father stood there. Alive. Clear-eyed. Remembering. All around them, villagers wept as forgotten memories returned. Faces remembered. Songs restored. Names reclaimed. Even Elder Naro bowed before Tavi. You have freed us. From that day forward, when the new moon came, the village no longer vanished. The people no longer forgot. And deep in the distant forest, some say a faint blue light still flickers through the mist. As though Ereni still watches from beyond the veil. Waiting. Remembering. And the people of Nyaru learned a truth they would never forget. No survivor is worth the loss of memory. For memory is the thread that binds us to those we love. And without it, even the living become ghosts.